Today we're going to mount the back cap onto the faceplate, and what I've done is basically I went ahead and put the rubber on there. You need to put the rubber on so that when you put the faceplate in there and you drill the holes, everything will fit together properly. Otherwise, what ends up happening is if you get a really nice tight fit when it comes time to put the rubber trim in, it doesn't always want to fit. So I studied a few reference photos, and I figured out that I want the faceplate to be right about here, like that. So what I usually do is I use these clamps here, and I basically start off by positioning the helmet so that the trapezoids line up on both sides. And so basically imagine like a line that comes down to the eye here. And I've actually marked this with a pencil because I went ahead and aligned it beforehand too. But basically I align the trap with the corner of the eye, and I just clamp it into place. The clamps. And then I do the same thing with this side. And as you can see, I need to move it over just a little bit. Just like this. Okay. So once I get basically the helmet aligned the way I want it, the faceplate aligned the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and clamp the clamps into place. And then I usually kind of stand back and just look at the alignment, make sure that it's what I want. And right now that's looking pretty good. So what I do next is put on a glove so I don't drill through my fingertips like I've done so many times before. Just basically take the tension, or put some tension in the helmet so that everything's a little snug. Kind of double check your alignment marks to make sure everything's where you want it to be. If you look, there's an old drill hole right there. Okay. Included with the kit are these handy dandy little rivets and washers. So I'm going to take this rivet and this washer here. Just going to drive this into the hole. Looks like I didn't make the hole big enough. Put this in there, like that. And let's see, where did I put my pop rivet gun? Here's your pop rivet gun. Take your washer, back it up. There's one side. Now, it's critical to kind of reestablish your alignment. Make sure that you're going to be happy with where it's going. It's no big deal if you have to drill out the rivets and redo it, but it is kind of a bummer. So, I've got the alignment basically where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and put this washer in here. I need to drill out the hole some more. I do. I think maybe this drill bit's just a little smaller than it needs to be. Which is okay. Okay, so I just do the same thing. I just rivet this side. So now our helmet's basically assembled. All I need to do now is fit the ears. Usually I leave the clamps on until I get everything assembled, because if you start putting the ears on, let's say you take the clamps off, you put this ear on, you screw it down, you put it down too tight, this whole side starts to tweak, and the next thing you know, this thing's not fitting together properly. So I've got it the way I want it to look. I'm going to leave the clamps on it. The next step is going to be fitting our ears.